All right, so this video is to walk you guys through how to make the trash can in the lofts assignment. So if we look at our OnShape document, right, we have our advanced CAD document that we're working in. We have our patterns, lofts, and constraints. So if we go to our lofts folder or lofts, we have our practice lofts over here. So you should have 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do the trash can, which the instructions for it are in Canvas. So you just have to go to the lofts PDF in Canvas, scroll down a little bit, kind of goes through how to make lofts, and it has all the directions right there. All right, so what we're going to do is go through and let's get this started. So first thing we need to do is make a new part studio, and we're going to call this trash can. And if we flip to the instructions, we can see that I'm good at the beginning. So we start with a hexagon, a 6-inch hexagon. Okay, and it's 6 inches from side to side, not point to point, but side to side. So let's come back to OnShape, and we'll do a sketch. And we'll go there, and we're going to get our inscribed polygon. And I'm going to go ahead and just lock it right on here. Now with the polygon, we don't really set the size yet. Okay, but we do want to make sure that we have 6 sides. So if we move this, that'll make more or less sides. We want to make sure we're at 6. And then what we're going to do, because our polygon or our hexagon needs to be 6-inch side to side, we're going to use our dimension tool. So we can hit our dimension tool right here, or I can just hit D on the keyboard. And we need to make sure that we're going to dimension the side to the side. So don't pick points. Make sure we get a whole side, so the whole side's yellow. Okay, then we'll go over here and grab this side, drag it out. You can see we only have 2.9, so we'll change that to 6. And there's our first hexagon, so we'll come back to the instructions. There's our first one. So now we need an offset plane. All right, so in order to loft this to a different shape, we need to offset a plane, right? Because we don't have another parallel plane to draw on. So here's our planes right here. So I'll grab my planes, and we want to make an offset parallel to this one. So make sure that you click on the same plane that you have your sketch, not this or this, okay, but the same plane that you have your sketch on, here, right there. And we can kind of drag this up, and we could drag it to exactly 12, or we could just type that in here. Okay, now, if yours is not an offset plane, make sure that you choose from all the different types that you're set to offset. Okay, that should set your offset plane right there. Okay, different planes do different things, but offset is what we're using. So we'll go and hit the check mark. Okay, and we see that next thing we need to do is draw another hexagon that looks exactly like the first one. That's kind of on the same orientation, but it's an 8-inch hexagon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and sketch on this. Go ahead and change our view. And just like we always should be doing, we want to make sure that we use our origin. So we'll click on the origin. And again, I'm going to lock this out right here. Make sure it's 6 sides. And then I'm going to use my dimension tool, or D on the keyboard. Grab this. And we want to dimension the sides again, not the points. And we'll make that 8 inches. Finish it up. Okay, so now we have our 2 hexagons. So next thing we're going to do is go ahead and do our loft. Okay, so we have our 2 shapes. So we'll come up here to our loft command, and we'll loft this, and I don't know, pretty basic trash can, doesn't do a whole lot. But one of the things we're going to do here is check match connections. So if we come over here to match connections, what this lets us do is pick the points that are going to match up. So for example, if I picked this point and this point, nothing would change because it would loft it following that straight line. So what we're going to do is on this top one, I'm going to pick a point, and it could be any one. I'm just picking this one because it's easy. And the next one, you kind of have to envision if I went straight down, right? This is the point that would just make it the normal boring one. Right, so I want to go 1 point over, so it's going to twist it. And I could go over this way or that way. I could go way over a couple and really twist it. But I'm just going to go over 1, and we can see that kind of forces it to kind of twist a little bit. So just a kind of cool little thing you can do with lofts. So we'll go ahead and finish that up. So got a cool little twist shape there, okay, but not really a trash can yet because you couldn't really put anything in it. It's not empty. What we need to do is go ahead and use our shell command, and we're going to shell this 0.2 inches. So we'll get our shell command, which is right here. And I'm going to click on this top face of our trash can. And we can see that that actually kind of makes it, open. Now, if I check hollow, that does is covers it up, and you're like, oh, well, that's not hollow, but it actually is. It's just completely enclosed. So there is a thick wall, or a wall with thickness of 0.1 inches there. It's just it goes all the way around, so you can't see it. So we're going to uncheck hollow because we want it to be open at the top. And we're going to change this to 0.2 inches and hit our check mark. And there's our trash can. The only thing left to do is to give it some color. I'll make mine green. I don't like that green. Right about there. And then I'm just going to drop the opacity a little bit. Ours is a glass trash can. That's fancy. There we go. All right, so that's how you do the trash can in OnShape.